So if you constantly have prospects telling you they've got to think it over, that they'll call you back, and they never do, I'm going to share with you why that's happening first and foremost, and then I'm going to share you what you can do about it so that it never happens again. So in this video, I'm going to show you two different types of sales presentations, one that doesn't work ever, and then another one that is a lot more compelling. So picture this. It's 1930. It's when vacuums just came out. They just became popular. So you got to kind of remove yourself from today, put yourself in the mindset of someone in 1930 where, it's taking them hours and hours and hours to clean their floors, and their houses are still filthy. I mean, it takes them 10, 15 hours, 20 hours a week just to clean these floors, and there's still a ton of dirt left over. So let me give you the first example of what's still being taught today. It's what still is being used today, where the salesperson tries to sell the features and the benefits of their product, hoping that that will compel the consumer to take action and actually give them money. So here it goes. So Mrs. Prospect, let me share with you all the great things about the Kirby Dual 50. This has a built-in spray gun. This will allow you to spray paint. This will allow you to spray insecticide or other liquids, or maybe some floor wax. It also has a built-in suds gun. So this will allow you to spray suds and shampooing of the carpets. This will allow you to clean the furniture. This is all built right into this brand new vacuum. It's also hand portable. So you can detach this from the push vacuum and you can use this right on your bed. This is wonderful for upholstery and other furniture as well. Not only that, it has a power polisher, so you can polish any hard surface. It has an upright cleaner, making it super easy for you to move around the house. It also has a rug renovator, so that you can actually keep your carpet looking new for longer. But wait, there's more. There's no other appliance that is as versatile or gives you so many different options. This also has a floor duster buffer. It also has a shoulder portable hose that you can use. You can pull out and you can get hard to reach places. It has a touch toe control, making it easy to turn off and on. It has a tool cabinet. It has different pockets for you to manage other cleaning supplies. It has a safety switch, and it even has an easy roll-up cord. So that's an example, a terrible example, by the way, of literally how most people still sell today. They think that somehow if they can rattle off enough features and benefits that the prospect will somehow feel, impressed. Wow, it does all of that. But what it's actually doing, as you probably have experienced at some point in your career, especially in real estate sales, is it just devalues yourself. It just commoditizes your product or your service, making it easier for the prospect to say, okay, if your product, your service does all of that, how much do you charge for something like that? X price. Okay, great. Let me go and now see what it is that your competitors can offer and what they charge, and I'll get back to you. So here's a different way to do it. So before we jump into it, let me ask you, how many hours are you spending cleaning the floors each day? Wow. So 2.5 hours every day cleaning the floors. I guess knowing that you have to clean for 10 or 15 hours a week, how has that affected the family life? Really? So you're not able to get to a lot of the different things that maybe you would want to do if you had some more time. I guess, if cleaning the floors only took you about 30 minutes a week, which gave you an extra 2 hours a day, how would this change things for you? So if that was possible, would you and your husband be totally against trying something brand new? Well, listen, I've got something exciting to share. Instead of telling you about it, would it be okay if I just showed you really quick? Awesome. So let me show you this. So come on over here. I want you to see the little mess on the ground. And instead of trying to sweep this up like people have been doing for years and trying to put it in their little tray, which is very difficult. You see how much stuff is being left behind. There's a new tool called a vacuum, and let me show you how this thing works. So I'm going to put this on just to show you what it does. And so you can see how easy this really is. I guess, what do you think? Do you think that if you had this tool in the house that it could save you a ton of time? Well, yeah, of course. Well, I tell you what, don't make any decisions right now. This is the last one we have in stock. I'm going to leave it for you to try this week. And if for some reason you find that it doesn't give you 10, 12, 15 hours back, I'll come by, I'll pick it up, and I'll give it to somebody who's on the waiting list, who's already prepaid, and I'll give it to them. Either way is fine. Fair enough? So that was an example of selling the outcome, selling to the desired goal or to the desired benefit. And we do that by selling the experience, because people need to feel what it's like. They need to have an experience of your product or service. And in real estate, this is how we can do that, because features and benefits, like I mentioned before, only commoditize the service in which you offer. This then lowers the perceived value that the prospect has of you, because if you start giving prospects feature sheets, this is all the stuff we do for you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, then they just take that feature sheet and they say, okay, well, let us think it through, Bob, and we're going to meet with a couple other real estate agents and we'll get back to you later this week. And then they meet with all the other real estate agents and all the other amateurs and all the other mules, and they get their feature sheet, and then they compare them next to each other, and then they just pick the one that charges the least amount of money. So how can we sell the experience to evoke an emotional response from the prospect that will compel them to take action, which will compel them to pay you a premium to put you in a position to be the obvious choice, that the very thought of working with any other agent is just too risky? So how do we do this as a listing agent? Number one, we have to update all of our materials so that when a prospect is, when they touch it, when they feel it, when you show it to them, it's a feeling that gets evoked to say, wow, this person's a real professional. They're not an amateur. Number two, you have your marketing strategy with samples hand delivered a day before your listing appointment with pizza. Yes, you heard that right. You can have somebody from Uber Eats. You can even have somebody at a local pizza restaurant that you work with quite often go and deliver pizza to the prospective seller that you're going to be meeting with the very next day, and have them bring along a copy of your marketing strategy, have samples ready to go, and show the seller all the things that you do that positions their property in the marketplace to be the obvious choice. Now, imagine a day before the meeting, they're eating dinner on you. And while they're eating dinner, they're looking through all your professional marketing materials as examples. You're not telling them, you're showing them. They get to experience it. Number three, on the day of the appointment, you show up dressed to impress. You're in a suit, you're in a tie, you've got good smelling breath, your shoes are shined, you're on time, rather you're early, because you are the product, you are the service. Number four, you then have a world-class presentation, which includes all of the following. You list all the homes that haven't sold. You put those in front of the seller to show the seller, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect or seller, here's the landscape of the market. Here's what we're dealing with. And you show them these are all beautiful homes that didn't sell because they hired the wrong agent. The next thing you go through with them is you get in the car and you show the seller the 2 to 3 homes that they're going to compete with when they hit the market. You don't tell them about the properties that they're going to compete with. You don't say, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, when we hit the market, we're going to compete with the Joneses house and the Smiths and this. No. You physically put them in the car and you say, let's go and look at the properties in person so that the three of us really know what it is that we're up against, because we're selling the experience. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to walk them through a days on market analysis. This is something that I teach to every agent that I coach. And we look at the properties based on how long they take to sell and their list to sold price ratio. And we look at the correlation so that the seller can see, we can show, not tell, because telling is not selling. We can show the seller the importance of pricing the property right from the beginning. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to show the seller a price bracketing breakdown. We are going to physically show the seller how many buyers there are in the marketplace approved to purchase a property right now in each price bracket. And we're going to show them the data so that the seller can decide in which bracket will their home be more appealing. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to share with the seller your offer upsell strategy. And then you can start to form a comparison based on what you do strategically versus all the other mules out there that say, oh, we're going to do professional photos, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You're going to show them an offer strategy that will blow their mind. That when you get an offer, you don't just forward it to the seller. No, you walk them through how you get buyer agents to go back to the buyer and have the buyers come back with even better terms for the seller. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to bring a oversized check to the listing appointment that you're going to pull out of your briefcase. You're going to hand it to the seller and you're going to show the seller how much they can expect to net from the sale of their home. You're not going to tell them, you're going to show them, and you're going to hand them over this oversized check. Yes, why? Because we are evoking emotions. They won't forget this presentation, trust me. So you hand them this check. They get to keep the check. You can get these on Amazon and you can write in after you go through the net sheet and say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is what you can expect at closing day. And they get to hold on to this check that you've given them at the presentation. You talk about standing out from the crowd, they'll never forget you. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to also give the seller a laminated roadmap that you give to the seller that outlines the entire process, that allows the seller to see. You've shown them the process. You didn't tell them the process. You showed it to them, and you gave them a laminated copy where they can follow along and check off where we're at in the process so they can see where they're at in the process, what's coming up next, what to expect, so that we can lower and remove as much anxiety as possible. Then the next thing you're going to do, you're going to offer an experience to the seller that allows them to feel what it's like to work with you by doing a 1-week listing trial. And this is so effective. What we're going to do is we're going to agree to work together with the seller for 1 week. They get to experience working with you. You get to experience working with them because it's equal business stature. We don't know why commit to a long-term agreement. Well, we don't know what it's like working with each other, right? So let's experience this, and that will allow you to have your grand opening weekend system put into place. This is another thing that I teach the agents that I coach, where you can have a private event Friday for the neighbors only. Then you can have your public Saturday open house event, and the seller can experience what it's like working with you, which then leads me to the next thing you're going to do, which is to offer to the seller to keep working with you. You don't ask them whether or not they want to work with you on a long-term basis. You've given them now an experience of what it's like to work with you, and now the close is, would you like to continue? You see, that's a lot different than trying to convince somebody to do business with you off some feature sheet. And now you can see the power of selling an experience, selling the outcome, and the lack of value that features and benefits offer. So my last thing I'll leave you with is, if you want help to implement all of this in your real estate sales business, let's have a conversation. I'm going to put a link underneath this video. You can schedule a day and time that works best for you. We can learn about what it is that you're looking to accomplish, the goals that you have. We'll share with you in return how we serve the real estate agents that we coach. And then together we decide, listen, does working together this year in a coaching relationship make sense at this point or not? So hopefully you got value from today's video. If you have, I would be honored for you to consider subscribing to the channel. I make a ton of content here on YouTube. And if you change your mind and decide, hey, this channel no longer is getting you value, you can always change your mind and unsubscribe later. So that's it for today's video. I will see you guys in another video very soon.